Hi guys, it's Bobby here, Big Gay Trucker with LGBTQ plus Truck Driver Network, and this is our first broadcast. So today we're just going to kind of talk with all the different people from our organization, and it's going to be kind of wild. It's going to be kind of crazy and fun. Maybe a little bit something that you guys are not used to us, but we're going to have a little bit more banter, a little more being loud, a little more opinionated, and we're here from home in Bowling Green, Kentucky at our new headquarters. This is our office that I've been working on. And so let's get started, everybody. First, I'm going to bring in Jess. Jess Orton is our social media director. Hey, Jess.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
So first, I know everybody's seen Jess before on the page and a lot of the stuff that we talk about and our crazy and fun things that we do. But first, I'm going to let Jess talk a little bit about what he does and how he got with the page, and we'll go from there.
All right. You want to know what I do here? So I do this. I do all things social media. For the most part, there's maybe a couple that I don't really work with. Um, I got started with the page by being a big mouth and a loud and obnoxious person, like I am still today. Um, it started off in actually Christmas Eve of last year. I told the group that they were a bunch of morons and if they backed a certain thing. And Bobby told me, well, if you don't like what you see, there's three dots at the top of the page. Feel free to leave the page anytime you want. Of course, I didn't leave the page. And I kept talking and kept talking. And Bobby finally said, listen, obviously you've got something to say, so let's hear what you got. And so the rest is kind of history, and here we are.
I would never do something like that. Not what you're talking about.
So, you never tell me to go to hell or anything.
All right, so let's bring Sean in for a second, you guys.
Hey guys.
So Sean has come to the group, and he's been lurking around. You may see some of his posts or what he's doing, but so he can kind of introduce himself and how he got with the group, and we'll go from there.
Hi, my name's Sean, and I was kind of new to the group in March, April. I came across the group down to Matt's convention. I was very pleased to see that they were there. They've been a great help. And I'm just now coming back into the industry. I spent the last 32 years in the mental health field, and it's time to retire from that. And now I'm looking at coming back into the industry and looking at different companies to go out with. And this group is absolutely fantabulously awesome group.
All right, well, all right, so that's Sean. So basically, we're all going to be on screen here in a minute, but I'm going to pop him back out, and I'm going to bring Jean Ann on. So hold on one second. Hi, Jean Ann. Tell us about yourself, how you went into trucking, and it's good to see you today. Look at this little flowered rose background back there. What do you got back there?
Yeah, I like to change out that every now and then. Yeah, I started trucking in 2001, and my life is trucking. I just live in my truck, and it's been a journey, so I have a lot that I can share.
Yeah, Jean Ann's always been an inspiration, especially when it comes to technology stuff or trying out things or treadmills in her truck or whatever it may be. She's their little techie guru type person that likes to try a lot of fun things and is not afraid of doing that, which inspires us all the time, is when we have people that aren't afraid to do things. So let's see if we can get Tabitha. So hold on one second, you guys. Are you there, Tab? Maybe. We'll come back to Tab. But all right, so since you've seen these three so far. We'll go ahead and, well, I don't know where Jeannie Ann went. She popped back off. There we go. Oh. And there's Tab. Hi, Tab. Can you hear us? Can't hear Tab, though. Maybe not.
There's technical difficulty somewhere.
A little bit of technical difficulty, but that's okay. Say something now, Tab.
I'm trying to get the mic on.
There you go.
You're good.
Oh, it shows me it's still off, so I didn't think I had it on. Is my camera working?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it
You
shows
are
me they're
working.
both. They have red lines in them, so I didn't think they were working.
No. Nope, you're good. So this is Tab, and let's have Tab tell you a little bit about herself and what she does with the page and how she came to be a part of all this craziness.
Hey everyone, my name is Tabitha. I met Bobby and Ricky when we all went to truck driving school at Celadon Driving Academy. Became really good friends. Introduced him, of course, to my husband, my better half, who is Doug Mosier. And we've grown to be great friends. So then we helped Bobby start this organization. And unfortunately, last September, my husband passed away when he was out on the road trucking. So that is how we came up with the Memorial Driver program. So we are really trying to push that out there for folks in trucking or in any form of transportation, really. And then I haul carbon black for Volume. I started out at Taylor Express, and now I'm over at Volume Transportation out of Conyers, Georgia, and been hauling that for over 5 years now. So, but I am happily a new grandmother, and I live in Broadway, North Carolina with my family.
And her anime.
Yes.
Well, so today, I just want to kind of start off by just talking about our week. And, it's been kind of a crazy week. I know that, with all the different things that's happening in our country, and then today being 9/11, it's just, it's been a very busy week. And, I even find myself about that because, I was, before coming home to Bowling Green, that was the load that I took was, I was in New York, and everybody has that timestamp of what this day was. You remember where you was. You remember what you were doing. Everybody has that. It just, I don't know. It just was something that's monumentally stuck in, I feel, in everybody's head of what you were doing at that moment. I know that it was my day off at work, and I woke up to the TV, and of course every channel, watching all of that happen and unfold on the TV was just absolutely crazy. So I don't really know what your guys' memories are or what you were doing, but kind of want to share what you were doing on this day when you found out all of that. Start with Sean, I guess.
I was actually at work. I was an activity director at a local nursing home. And we were watching the morning news, and that breaking news came across, and that was the whole day. The whole day was focused on that TV. All of my seniors that I worked with, they did not want to come away from that TV. They literally were glued to that TV. Not knowing what was going on, we put the whole facility in lockdown. Obviously, nobody was in and out. Canceled all doctor's appointments unless they were absolutely necessary. And they literally were glued to the TV the whole day and whole night.
Right. And Jeannie, what were you doing?
I was that was my first year of trials with my second co-driver, and we were team driving with CRST. I did the night bed. My co-driver was listening to the radio through the curtains. I could hear. I heard something like, "The towers are gone. The towers are gone," and I I got up and I opened the curtains. I said, "What in the world? Like, what is going on?" And then I didn't end up sleeping that day. I literally sat up in the passenger seat the whole day, and we listened to the radio. And then later that night, I saw the first images. It was one of those things that I don't. I mean, it was a major thing. Like I think we all got,
Right. Jess, what were you?
Well, that was when I was the ripe old age of 19 years old. And I was actually working at my hometown grocery store, bagging groceries for customers. And it had come across in the back office, and they had everybody, because at the time they still used actual telephones for communication between the front and the back, and they had put all the phones on speakerphone, and we listened to the entire part of what was going on at that exact moment, and it was just devastating. I mean, just the looks on the people's faces, standing around us and seeing, older Americans there, like, you could tell who had been there before and stuff like that.
Right.
And so, and as someone I had literally just graduated, like, let's see, July, literally 3 months before that, it was history in the making, and not a good piece of history, but it's still history nonetheless.
Deb, welcome back.
Hey, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On 9/11, I was working at Walmart in Hope Mills, North Carolina. I was a department manager at Walmart, so I was in management. I was shocked when it came across, and all the employees came about and started telling us all that this just happened. I immediately called my husband at his shop, because at the time we had our own auto repair business. We lived right off of Fort Bragg military base, the biggest base in the United States, and it was quite a big thing going on around town, and our shop was right off the base. So we reached out to a lot of people that went there, to help, look for survivors and stuff like that. We had a lot of firefighter friends that went and stuff like that, but it was quite a tragic and very memorable. And then me and my husband, on our 20th wedding anniversary, we went to the 9/11 memorial site. That was pretty awesome on our 20th wedding anniversary to see all that.
We've been to 9/11, and then we had been to Memorial Site, and then I've been to the site in Pennsylvania as well. I've been to that, and it's words can't really describe either of them to me.
Yeah.
I feel like when you go there, it's just it's like being in a bubble. It really is. At both sites, they have this just this presence that you have when you're being there. So if anybody has never been to either of them, I'd
check them out.
Yeah, go. It's just a very and then so we talk about all these things, and I think this is interesting and weird, and a lot of people won't talk about the stuff I want to talk about. So we're going to talk about some weird things. So I'm on TikTok, and of course we're all on TikTok. Everybody is playing on their phones, having fun, whatever. So I don't know. So all of those children, all the children that have, well, not all the children, but there has been hundreds of cases of children, and you can look it up on TikTok, that I don't know what everybody's belief is, and but there's all these children that have come up with saying, I was sitting at my desk, and they're 5 years old. They were sitting at their desk, and the one case on TikTok, they can tell you, if you look it up, there's all these children that basically they feel have been reincarnated, and they were people. There's a young girl that she said she was walking down the staircase with everybody and the building collapsed and she died. There was a guy that said he could see the plane coming straight at his desk. And these are children. They're 5 years old. They're 7 years old. Some of them now are like 19 and 18. And I think it's interesting, no matter what your belief is, these are innocent children that didn't have a recollection of any of that, but they can actually, the one case I thought was really interesting, and the reason was because he's 11 and he knew what car he drove. He knew everything about his life, and he even took his parents. They went on a field trip or a mini vacation type thing, and he took his parents to the place that he lived, and he got to meet what was his wife, and it was
That's pretty cool.
interesting. So if you look up the TikTok,
That's kind of creepy.
It's well, they can tell you all these different things, what was in their briefcase, the notes, and I mean, I looked it up.
This
and
is like right up Gene Ann's alley.
But it's interesting. I know most people would not talk about this subject, but I believe in spirituality. I believe in reincarnation. I believe anything's possible. So I don't ever X something out just because I don't believe or it doesn't sound exactly right to me. I always believe that there's something to it, especially but there's multiple cases. So start looking at TikTok, look it up, and look at 9/11 reincarnated children. And there's tons of these little TikToks about it. And I think it's interesting. So what is your guys' views on that?
I definitely believe in the reincarnation. I know it's possible. So I totally get it. I want to check out all of the videos to learn for myself. I know you shared them with me the other day in our phone call, and that sounded pretty awesome.
How do you feel about that, Sean?
Yeah, there's several documents out there, documentaries, especially on YouTube, about that. I hope that, if I'm ever reincarnated, I come back as a skinny person, but, I take what I get, Just saying, man, just saying.
Or as my dog, because my dogs are really well taken care of, so.
Oh, shit.
And Genia?
I've never heard the story. I'd be interested to see these videos with my own soul and what my spirit, what I would. But if you ever read autobiography of a yogi or other spiritual material, are cases of reincarnation, and I do believe in reincarnation. So I can't say it's not true, or I have to see this video and feel it for myself. But yeah, I
just think it's the similarities. The things that for me that got me with the videos are the things that they had no way of knowing. You know what I mean? Like one of the cases, I've looked months. I've looked at this for like months since I stumbled on it. And it was just because I have an infatuation with ghost stories and different things like that. So I had stumbled on that. It was just the fact that, the little details, like the one lady that was going down the staircase, that child describes what she was wearing that day when she left. She knew what clothes she would had on. Like it's just all the little details that no one had a way of knowing. You know what I mean? It's those things that I find really intriguing and interesting.
There's a really good one on YouTube. You were speaking about children and reincarnation. There was one on YouTube, and I don't remember the name of it. The kid must have been 9, 10, maybe 11 years old. And he recounted from World War II everything that happened on the plane that he was in. And they actually went back. He was able to locate somebody from that plane that they were on. I don't know if it was I believe it was maybe a bomber. And he had connected with this older gent, obviously. And everything that they talked about, like he knew it happened.
Right. And that's the part, that's those little details is what gets me. You know, when they're able to do the little details of exactly what happened and when it happened, type thing. Then how do you feel about this, Jess?
I mean, I believe that people come back as other things. I really do. I've always thought that ever since I was a little kid. Like like with my dog. I kid you not. I can say certain things that my mother would say to me, and my dog would look right at me, like knowing exactly what I'm talking about, like I've been there before, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, if my mom got to come back as my dog, boy, is she lucky. Anyway,
She got an apple, is all I'm saying. But anyway.
I'm telling you what, her nose has touched some things that nobody wanted to see. I'm telling you.
Sat on her. You squished her before.
Hey, she's not the first dog I've sat on
I know.
at
This
all.
is not a shock. By no
Patty gets
means.
sit on too, don't you? Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm kind of like Jean Ann. I would have to definitely see these videos and understand them exactly as I watch it and see if, I believe in what it's saying.
Right. And I'm not trying to discredit, I just wanted to bring this up because most people is going to talk about this day and how it affected them and forever in my life. I mean, I know it's just forever in my life. This day will always symbolize just a very sad day in our history as an American. And the first time in my lifetime that I really felt unsafe on our own land. It was the first time I really felt unsafe on our own land. I never really felt that way. That really had never crossed my mind. Like I know that Pearl Harbor happened. I know there's a lot of other things that's happened in the past, but I just in my lifetime, it was the first thing that ever made me feel unsafe. And kind of like the whole, I remember like the people went crazy. Remember the whole Y2K when everything.
Oh my God.
And everybody thought that the world was going to end, the computers were going to shut down, everything was going to die. They lined at the gas stations, the things. It was, but it was, and that wasn't. I guess that's another time. But that's just kind of some crazy things and people. I don't know why people. Well, it's just like the toilet paper thing. I don't know. I don't understand why everybody went out and bought toilet paper. We couldn't buy toilet paper. That was another one. I'm just like
somebody out there's got some really super clean asses. I'm just saying.
We jump to the weirdest things sometimes. Like of all things to grab was toilet paper. Like why did we grab toilet paper? I mean.
Left the water on the damn shelf. Like God forbid we took the toilet paper.
Didn't have, so it happens. We've all been there. So this week is Trucker Appreciation Week, which runs from the 11th today all the way until the 17th, in case you don't know that. And so there is a lot of different places around the country, TAs and Petros and Flying J's and pilots and Loves. They're all doing these like special appreciation things for drivers. So if you haven't checked it out, check out on your app or whatever all the different appreciation things. Just because there's a lot of like buy one get one free. There's also free things like free drinks and all that type of stuff. So plus TAs and Petros are turning 50 years old, so they're doing a bunch of stuff this week for 50 cents, like for soft drinks and things like that. So
I think they should appreciate us with a pay raise.
Well, yeah, that would be great too, but that's not going to happen. And I'm sure that all of our terminals or whoever we do work for, that's going to be, I've never been to any of the appreciation weeks because they always keep us out on the road. But like at the terminals, they usually do cookouts and stuff. But I never get it. But I don't know about you all, but I've never been to one.
So I got a question.
And bringing that up, how do you guys feel about? Do you feel that we're like appreciated on the road? Like, do you ever feel appreciated by anybody on the road? Anybody in trucking? Do you really ever feel appreciated?
I have a circle of friends that like they show their appreciation and they thank me all the time. Online or verbally texting me when I'm out here on the road. So I do appreciate that. And then I love when my shippers and consignees act like they're really appreciate me and give us goodies. I've gotten laundry bags, I've gotten t-shirts and a few other things from them being appreciative.
I think that's been a good thing about the group, but besides the group and just here and there, certain people, I don't really feel like but I think it's because we're always moving, we're always on the road. Me and Ricky are, we're never really at a shipper receiver long enough. So we don't even see people half the time. We don't even go inside half the time. We just back on the door, they cut the seal, and we pull forward, open the doors, and we back on the door again. So we sometimes don't see anybody, really. What do you think, Jan? Have you ever worked anywhere that you felt appreciated or felt?
Yeah, and they always say like take their time and say thank you for Weston. I'm a very happy person, and it's usually the non-appreciative, like, I don't know, like I've just never had a problem not like, or either that or I'm not attuned to like non-appreciation. So and I understand how valuable the service is we do. So I just whether other people know how important it is or not.
Right.
So,
Even in your line of work, Sean, how do you feel about, I know it's not trucking per se right now, but I mean, I know in the health field, sometimes, they have like Nurses Week, they have different things, but I never, even then, I always felt it was like, it's like the people that say we're gay friendly during the month of June, but then once it's over, and you're back to the regular grind of things.
In our field, you find the bigger companies do more for like nurses appreciations or social workers, appreciation. The smaller companies, they don't do much, but I do find that the bigger companies, they do big cookouts. I know at my company, once a month, we have a different food truck that comes in on like the first Friday of the month, and that's all catered. So we can pick whatever we want off that food truck, and then the company picks it up.
That's pretty amazing.
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, I've had some good food, let me tell you. Every fat man enjoys that.
Well, I know that we have coming up October 22nd, our party, and we're going to have the Pride event the same day here in Bowling Green. So I know that a lot of us are planning to be here and have fun and let loose and just, have a really good time. Just, visiting, hanging out, networking, laughing, talking, our regular fun that we always do. So
I need you to get a hold of that 8X spandex onesie so I can have it for my costume. If you could do that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, so you wear that with your butterfly wings. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. I would.
But yeah, so we do have parking here. It's 3.5 miles from the house. That it does accommodate truck parking. It's a large, nice parking lot. I can give you the day before or whatever day you're coming in. So anybody that is interested in coming, just let us know and message the group about that. And it shouldn't cost anything to park there for the weekend. It's actually a pretty nice place. Jess has parked there before, David's parked there before, and so I think that's kind of going to be a interesting place to go and park. looking at this.
Come
So,
on, we
like,
got to talk about something really controversial here. We got to get a debate going.
we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm just warming up to this stuff. So, like, this week, since we're talking about this week and all this stuff, let's talk about, so with the Queen passing, and that's another, you know, this is another monumental event because, I mean, she's the longest running monarch. And you know, we'll never see, you know, something like this again, I don't feel. And in our time of being alive, unless I'm 198 years old, but you know, with her
You
passing,
are, aren't you?
huh?
I said you are, aren't you?
No, with her passing though, you know, like I've seen a lot of the stuff. I've seen a lot of respect and a lot of the things, a lot of things happening, and people putting up really neat things. So how do you feel about the Queen passing, and how do you feel that affects us, or is there any concerns with her passing and what's going to happen now since then? I mean, I know he takes a year. It takes a year for him to take his seat, but
Damn.
yeah,
That's a long time.
he doesn't get to instantly be. I mean,
He's instantly king, but it takes one full year to gather all the proper protocols and everything else like that for the actual coronation, for the actual crowning. Because they actually have to size the crown a little bit and stuff like that.
well, and I don't. I think it's disrespectful to instantly crown him.
Yes.
So he steps in place as king, but they don't crown him or do anything until a year later, which out of respect
Well,
for the
that's
Queen.
like when Queen Elizabeth became queen, when her father died. She was quite upset that it was actually going to take so long for coronation to happen, but there was actually political reasons of why they were taking so long, because Winston Churchill was in power at that time as well, and so he was trying to take as long as her coronation was being drawn out, all the limelight and everything about him and how old he was and stuff like that, it was taking the limelight off of him, and so it drew his reign or powerful prime minister out longer. And so I know when she, like I said, when she was coronated, you know, she was quite upset about it. Sorry,
So,
this is something that I follow.
Which
well,
is
and you
because
know,
us women's want things done fast.
the way society is, and the way things are, that what we do, and all this other stuff. So I'm going to bring up, you know, there's been a tremendous amount of respect and love, and all these people showing the dedication to, you know, their queen and all of that, which is amazing, and I'm very sad for their loss of having her, but this is America, and this is how people act all the time. So I'm sure everyone else has seen the same things, which, you know, there's all these funny memes out there of like Princess Diana and the Queen's on the gate and yelling for her to open the gate. And then there's like, you know, the ones that are sitting here and, you know, 73-year-old man finally gets his job, talking about talking about so it's just, how does that make you feel? I mean, this is our society today, so this is how things are. Everybody does a meme on things. Everybody does a funny thing, you know. It is kind of rude in a way, but at the same time, this is our society. This is what we live in. We live in a society that, you know, it is funny that you have the picture of the Queen like hanging on the gate, implying it's the gate to heaven, and then someone's sitting there saying, you know, Diana opened the gates, because basically she's locked her out. I mean, this is our society. So how does that make you feel that this is our society?
It's also good to have sense of humor. It's also good to have sense of humor in this time too.
It is. It is. I'm just talking about it because it's, you know, it's one of those things I've scrolled through my Facebook, and I've seen quite a few different ones, and I'm just, you know, it's controversial a little bit, but it's just it's society. It's what we do. It's how
I
we
don't know,
do
like
it.
I listen to the radio on the CNN and stuff like that every morning. You know, whether I'm driving or not, which is usually not. Um, but the other yesterday or the day before, they were talking about it was um they were asking the American people more or less on there to take a survey on their website of asking who do you think is better right now, the United States or the British monarch? And believe it or not, they were all saying that about 8,000 people said British monarch, and I'm like, okay, I don't I don't know about that, but okay. It's just like I don't know. What do you
I think
think,
it's
So
Sean?
because I think they say that because Great Britain, they kind of remain neutral in a lot of political aspects now. The word the U.S., I'm not trying to get into politics per se, but the U.S. has to poke its nose into anybody and everybody's business throughout the world.
I agree with
And
that.
Great Britain, they pretty much stay neutral.
We're nosy people. We are. We're very nosy. We like
I
to
think
stick our
it's just
noses
funny
in
that we have
everything.
to. The United States government thinks that they need to bail everybody else out, but forget to worry about their own damn people over here.
Yeah, I mean, we're very nosy.
That's so true. It really is. I mean, we're given
I mean, we have
billions of
people
dollars.
that don't even have running water, but yet we're still raising money for other countries.
I mean,
And
don't get me wrong. I feel bad that that war is going on in Ukraine and everything else like that. But did we really need to send multi billions of dollars over there for their weaponry and all this other stuff when how many people, I mean, endless amounts of people are homeless, living on the streets, not, like you said, running water, food to eat, stuff like that. But yet we're not going to spend the billions of dollars here, but we'll send it over there so they can create weapons.
but I think you kind of see that everywhere. We see things like that in trucking. We see things like that in all the different industries. No matter where you're at, um, it's just like you can stay somewhere 12 years, work the same job, but yet somebody that gets a new hire, and you could quit your job and come back and make more money.
Yeah.
And I think that's ridiculous. It's just and I think that stems to where people don't want to work right now. There's tons of people that's out here and hustling and balling and whatever you want to call it, but like they don't want to work. They can make money off of playing on the internet, doing all these things. There's a reason they don't want to work because they're underappreciated. Like no, they're. I feel that way. I really do. I mean, I don't like it because I want to get my cheeseburger when I go to the truck stop, and I can't because half the time they're closed. So let's talk another. So this is a more controversial subject. So, and we had talked about this within the group. So I live in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and in Bowling Green, you have Carolyn Bryant Donham. Now, Carolyn Bryant Donham was the accuser of Emmett Till, who got lynched and hanged and beat in Mississippi, and he was from Chicago. Um, and this happened back in 1955. Now, her husband, Roy Bryant, actually, Roy Bryant and John Milam, both of them had been acquitted, and that whole case was kind of released. Now, you have the Fairness Campaign, Black Lives Matter. You have a large group that is coming on the 17th, next weekend, and there was a warrant for her arrest, and they never served it. Of course, this warrant happened in 1955. She's now 82 years old, but she was never served. So they are coming to protest her here on her front lawn. With that being said, you know, of course, she's 82 years old. She can't get around like she was. They're not really enforcing that she be arrested. They're pushing it for the fact of attaching it to her name, basically, is what they're wanting to do. It's proving a point, and I get both sides of this, but you know, like the headline says, the woman who took part in one of the most heinous racial crimes of the 20th century remains free to enjoy her old age and her family, something Emmett never got to experience. He was 15. 15? Yeah, he was 15. So, how do you feel about this? Like, I don't feel that anyone is above the law. I get this. I know that the KKK and the Westboro Baptist Church both have said that they are coming in her defense to protest against Black Lives Matter, Fairness Campaign, and all the other people. So she has eluded this, and she has been missing. They had just found out 20 years ago that she moved here. So for like 30 some years, 20 some years before that, she literally was in hiding. I don't know if it was like she didn't live
Someone
here.
was protecting her. Someone was protecting her.
There was like a protection thing that happened. So after that was lifted, she moved here. She does. So, you know, for protection of my family, I was like, you know, this is a big, huge brewing pot. I told everybody, you know, just be careful that weekend. A lot of different people coming, and I can see how tensions could, you know, conflict and all that stuff. And I think she lives like right in my neighborhood. So, how do you feel about that? Do you think that someone should be above the law just because they're 82 years old and in bad health? I see Sean up there.
I know Sean wants to say something.
You know me. Nobody's above the law, first of all. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a president. You're not above the law. Second of all, it doesn't matter how old you are. What it does matter is how old the case is. It's, 60 years old? Obviously, she's still not above the law. It should have never happened. But what are they going to do to her now?
Right. I mean, I get that. I think that they're just wanting, you know, like I had said to you before, I think that what they're doing is trying to get most of the action towards her name. They're trying to make a right out of the wrong by using it as an example case, I feel. And I know that there is a couple of documentaries out there, and there is also a whole entire, well, there's a whole movie coming out. I think it's this spring. I want to say.
No, this fall.
Is it in the fall? Okay, but there's a whole movie about this also. So
Why did they wait so long to make a movie and stuff about it if this happened that long ago?
well, I don't know if it was because, I mean, I know it's hard to get people interested because I mean, look at it from that point. It's hard to get people, it's hard to get sponsors, it's hard to get people interested because we're LGBTQ.
True.
And, you know, you have Sheree Moore and her organization, who was the first predominantly African-American organization, and they wouldn't allow her at some of the shows and some of the things that's happened. So she had a really hard road to go. So I can see where some areas of the country is very open and a lot of different things. So looking at it from a trucking perspective, at least for me, I feel that, we're just now, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, Cherie was able to be at the show. So, there has yet to be like an African American association at the show. There's a lot of things. So, we broke the mold last year by being the first LGBTQ group. So I could see where it would be hard to get that because of it being a lynching and because of it being the situation that it was. I watched a couple of the documentaries. It was horrible. I didn't know though. So like, I didn't know. I educated myself a little bit. I love watching things that educates me, but I didn't know that this was pre. Wrote. It's Rosa Parks, right?
Yeah.
So that happened afterwards. I didn't know that. I thought that. So this event actually is what it was like.
It trumped hers.
6 weeks later, 6 or 7 weeks later, Rosa Parks refused to ride in the back of the bus, and so that happened, and then of course so on and so on. All the different protests and different things happened, but I didn't know that this was pretty much the kickoff starting point of that. That his death, like his mom chose, she wanted to show everybody what they did to him. So she chose the coroner when he came in. They sealed the casket and nailed the coffin shut, and they refused to open his casket. She grabbed a hammer and did it herself because she wanted the world to see what they had done to her baby. So like, it was very in depth, very I don't know. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot by this case. So yeah, I just don't feel that anyone's above the law. Jean Ann, do you have anything, 2 cents to put on this? Jean Ann disappeared.
You put her on the spot.
Here you are. Maybe.
I see you, but I don't hear you.
All right, we have nothing from Jean Ann. We have a beautiful smiling face, but no audio.
That's how I was earlier. I didn't know what I was doing wrong.
I know the last time she was saying something, it was kind of like a Japanese movie. I heard it, then I saw it.
So I'm reading this post. So I don't know if anybody else has read this. I'm going through some of the columns and different things from news that's happened, and we put it up on the page. So we have this one. A Saudi Arabian woman gets 45 years in prison for doing social media posts.
Yeah, boy, that made me feel safe.
And I think the reason I bring some of these up is just because even the Emmett Till case and things like this, I think that sometimes I forget that these type of laws or these type of things still exist in other countries. And maybe that's ignorant of me, or I don't know, but maybe it's just my freedom of being an American. But like, do you forget about these things? Am I the only one that felt like I would never think? Yeah, it says by the Saudi Arabia specialized criminal court on charges of using the internet to tear the social fabric and violating public order by using social media. Yeah, there's very little even known about what her social media said, but in her country, women are not supposed to use social media.
I couldn't live in that country.
Mm-mm.
I
I don't think they're allowed to drive cars. I think they have to have a male driver to take them anywhere they want.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that their faces can't be shown and all that. I know there's a lot of different rules, but that was just something for me. I was like, I forget about these things. And I guess we get so busy with our life. You know what I mean? We get busy with our life doing things, and then I just kind of forget about these things. And maybe it's just me, but I do. What is this? Jess shared this one, so we should all be scared, whatever this is.
Wait, what? I only share the utmost beautifulest things in the world.
A little over 200 years ago, June 16th, 1816, Mary Shelley on the left invented science fiction when she wrote Frankenstein. About 150 years later, Lucille Ball on the right championed a script nobody wanted. She paid for the pilot and fought the money back enough for Star Trek to get made. She also had a hand in Westinghouse Playhouse, which gave Rod Serling the big break he needed to the Twilight Zone produced. The mother of science fiction and the godmother of modern science fiction.
So what that is that the one they were talking about, she kind of created, science fiction as we know it. But Lucille Ball was helping a director out by, he had created Star Trek. And nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to produce it, air it, anything. They pretty much all thought it was this crazy bullshit that, just some random person came up with. So Lucille Ball thought, okay, I like it. If I like it, somebody else will like it. So she paid for the pilot to be done, and as we can see years later, how many of Star Treks have been along. And then she also helped the gentleman who wrote the Twilight Zone. It was another situation where nobody wanted it, nobody thought it was going to work, and so had she not done what she did, we wouldn't know these amazing pieces of entertainment.
Well, I love that we have like weird people out here in the world because it makes me feel great that I'm weird.
I mean, look at the 5 people sitting in front of you right now.
I do. I love the weird people. So like here we have one that says, and I love Madonna. Madonna is a gay icon. Everyone loves her. But Madonna says sex is what keeps her going and reveals that she regrets getting married both times because it hurt her sex life. Madonna is opening up about her life, career, and
I can't read it.
Oh. So finally, she's going to do a YouTube channel video that's Finally Enough Talk, 50 Questions with Madonna, and a lot of it's all about sex. She's 64 years old, and she provided the single word answer for her greatest guilty pleasure, astrological sign, current favorite obsession, secret to success, and life mantra is the fact that what keeps her going is sex.
And she's
So-
how old?
64.
And the thing that keeps her going is sex.
Yes. Yes.
At that age?
That's why it needs me back in my life. Yes.
Have you met my
Good
parents?
Lord.
No,
Tell
you
you, right?
haven't
I'm
met my
telling
parents yet. My parents are 80 and they still have sex.
Wild, crazy sex at that.
Oh my God.
They
I
fall
did
out of
not
the
want
bed
to hear
and have
that.
Fell off
bruises
the
and
bed,
have their
They've
let the
gotten
veins fall on
bruises
them.
and broken toes and
And here we are in our 40s and 50s, and we ain't getting shit.
you gotta have someone or have someone to do it with.
And
Says who?
robo-robs do not count.
Says who at Tab?
But the best advice that can be given is pool noodles for the headboard.
Tab's like, I'm gonna get happy over here now.
Hey, if it works, man. I'm telling you. I've not had any complaints afterwards.
So 64, I mean, I think she's gorgeous at 64. I mean, and I don't know if I would regret not having sex so much. Everybody knows that they would not want to be around me because I'm a real bitch if I don't have sex. But
No, but we can always tell when you do.
yeah, I'm bright and cheerful, like today.
The truck next to me is rocking. They must be having sex.
They fucking.
I miss those days.
Miss those days.
My
She's
truck
gonna be
rocks a
peeping-
lot, but it's usually when I stand up and move around.
She's gonna be a peeping tab. She's gonna be up in the window. But no, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that was-
that's interesting. I mean, that Madonna thinks that. So let's go to another article. So articles this week was the Biden administration to offer monkeypox vaccines at 3 major LGBTQ events. Louisiana, Georgia, and California, and that they're expecting over 13,000 vaccines in total to be distributed out. How do you feel about this? And that they're targeting LGBTQ events. That's my thing about it.
I don't know
I
enough
guess-
about the disease yet, and
Well, my thing about it is basically if you know anything about the AIDS epidemic and when all that happened, it instantly was targeted also to LGBTQ. I feel
hell, I'm
that
surprised we didn't get blamed for the freaking coronavirus.
I feel that a lot of the time, promiscuity is out there everywhere. What the hell is that?
The fuck? What the hell have you been drinking today? Damn it!
Oh, if monkeypox had a picture, that would.
Addie, it's okay. It's okay. He can walk by. He can walk by. He can walk by.
He did not ask
Hey.
permission.
He can walk by. He can walk by. I promise.
Great. Now I got mine. I got mine going.
So, what do you think about this,
Easy.
John?
I don't know much about the monkeypox, so I can't really say much about it. But I mean, I don't know.
What in the everybody's hell is wrong with this woman today?
I don't know.
Are you
but
wait,
apparently Tabitha needs to go to
Tab,
a
are you
baseball.
saying we're boring or what?
Well, I was told I didn't look too thrilled, so I'm trying to act like I'm thrilled.
Who told you you don't look thrilled?
I'm trying to live this up.
So basically,
Well,
it was
if you keep
Jean
us
Ann
those
is the
tits
problem.
around,
I
you
see
will.
Jean Ann on there.
No, it wasn't Jeanette. I mean, she was one of them. She was one of them, but it was more than one. So
Well, apparently, you need to go to a Blue Jays game because fans keep getting caught having sex at the Blue Jays games. They're having.
Who the hell are the Blue Jays?
The Toronto Blue Jays, really? Come on, girl, your hair is blue.
Hear that, or go to Cedar Point and ride the Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
Hey,
they got in
Cedar Point works. Cedar Point works. That's where I was conceived.
But no, that's what they've been doing. I don't understand it. Like people's having sex in public. I mean, the voyeuristic.
Hey, I
part of
remember
it.
doing that one time.
The last time I had sex in public, there was an eclipse and a full moon in the same time.
Kate Moss reveals that Johnny Depp gifted her first diamonds by pulling them out of his butt.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
Oh, no shit.
Kate Moss revealed that Johnny Depp gifted her first diamonds by pulling them out of his butt.
That's pretty unique. That's pretty cool.
That's talent, man. That's real
I
talent.
bet they were a bit shitty, but okay.
You know, that's something I'd probably be willing to try.
It was a diamond necklace.
They're not anal
Oh.
beads. They're not anal
Well,
beads.
apparently he thought they were because it was a diamond necklace, not a ring.
I hope they
were
weren't
anal
too
beads.
sharp.
He said we were going out to dinner, and he said, I've got something in my bum. Can you have a look? And I was like, what? And I put my hand down his trousers, and I pulled out a diamond necklace.
Oh my God, I'd like to put my hand down his trousers too. That's not what I want coming out, but hey.
I mean, I think that this is expert dating tips. We should start.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean,
there's that first date you'll never forget.
It'd be memorable, that's for sure. That would be memorable.
Jeannie, what do you think about it?
Jeannie Ann's quiet over there. She's still got microphone not working.
I'm just listening. I really.
We can hear you now.
What do you think about putting diamonds in your butt and handing them to your partner?
To their own. That's it.
What is that? Where are you getting these from?
Just looking for funny faces.
That's so funny. So I seen that. I'm trying to see it now. So what has you guys' week been like? Anything crazy this week? Anything ridiculous, you guys? What's going on?
I'm stuck in Texas.
I know. Poor Tab is like always stuck somewhere with those trailers.
With flat tires or blown up
I don't
trailers.
have flat tires.
Air
No
issues.
flat tires. I just don't have a load to pick up.
Really? Well,
I
Jeff
drove
kind of had a
500.
load, and then he had a messed up week.
I drove 400 miles yesterday, which I know is a shock. All on its own.
What?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you.
Listen, y'all. I want to. Oh, shut up, you stupid machine. So 3 days in a row, I drove 3.
Woo!
I know.
That's
it was
a
like
record, man.
400, 101, and 423. So yeah, that's new records for me. Anyway, my load got messed up, so I came all the way from the bottom of Indiana, the bottom southwest corner of Indiana, and came all the way up here to Michigan. I pulled in to get fuel, and I called XBO to find out if the shipper had overnight parking so I could be there for the 6 a.m. live load this morning. Because I was going to do like 483 miles altogether just for the hell of it. The guy goes, and this is the response I get. Oh, that load. You're not supposed to freaking laugh when you talk about my load. And so he said, so here's what's going on. I'm like, oh, this ought to be fucking rich. So he's like, it's not in the system yet. I said, now how in the heck? Listen, bitch. In other words, my damn load canceled. It was given away to another carrier, and they screwed up in the process and never told me. There, are you happy now, you ass?
So, I don't know. The only thing I got right now is, does anybody watch Dancing with the Stars?
Why would we watch that crap?
Well, some of us do. I like Dancing with the Stars. I like America's Got Talent. I like American Idol. I watch some of that stuff.
I watch the
We
replays
live
when they
in
come
a
on
truck.
Facebook.
Yeah, but I mean, I watch my iPad. Do you not watch on your iPad? Well, never mind. You just got a new tablet, so.
I watch the replays on Facebook or stuff like that. So yeah, that's about the most
But
I
with that
watch.
being said, so there's going to be history in the making for the Dancing with the Stars show, because Shangela from
Really?
RuPaul's Drag Race is going to be the very first drag queen to be on the show. So that was announced this week, and I think that's kind of cool. We don't always talk about, that's something a little bit different about the group. Everybody instantly thinks that we're always going to talk, and all of our subjects are going to be LGBTQ related. We actually don't talk that much about it.
We don't hardly ever touch on that stuff.
We really don't.
We're not like all those other groups that pull those stupid, race and creeds and gender cards. We always go with, other things.
Well, this has kind of been our first show, you guys. I am going to pretty much end it here. I thank everyone so much for being here. We're going to get more comfortable with ourselves, and we're going to get our OnlyFans going on with Tabitha's boobs and nipple tassels, and we're going to have a poll over there in Jane Ann's truck. So come back, and
Bobby, we would attach the jewelry to the nipples, but it might scare the children.
That's right. It might shock the children, but no. We're just all going to get a little bit more comfortable on camera and being ourselves. And I can't wait till, as we progress with the show, that we get to the point where everyone can show their character and our rare form that we like to be, because we all are a pretty awesome bunch. And so I thank you all so much. This is our first little broadcast of doing it this way. And what?
What?
We have Doug's Memorial September 22nd and 23rd in Baltimore, Maryland. And then any of those that join us in Baltimore and want to come to North Carolina, we're having a memorial bike ride in his honor, and going on a ride, and then dinner and drinks at Goodfellas, our local hangout. So
okay.
I appreciate you all. Share it. Join us.
And be sure to look for all that stuff on the pages as well, or however you do follow us, because it is on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Facebook, and then also LGBTQ vetted, LGBTQ truckdrivernetwork.com, and all of our other social media platforms, also including LinkedIn. So if you follow us on any of those platforms, and then this actually can be watched later on at any point in time, because it'll all be loaded up to YouTube and then all the other platforms as well. So I thank everyone for tuning in. And as we go along with this, the whole vision is to be Anna Nicole Smith meets Dr. Ruth Howard Stern. So I want to be able to be loud, and I want to be able to talk about things and talk about subjects that most people are not going to talk about. I am looking forward to kind of doing a couples thing. I want to talk like 2 or 3 couples.
Oh, now he freezes up. I'm not going to say what it looks like he's doing, though.
Bobby, you're away.
He looks like a dork.
Bobby,
Wow.
Bobby.
So is it him, or is it the platform with him?
It was him.
That was him.
It's him. There you go. Now it's working.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened, but I'm going to go ahead and end this out, you guys. So I thank everyone for being here. Bye, Jess. And bye, Sean.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
I got a trucker.
Beth. And bye, Jean Ann. Thank you all again.